First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jess Langlois is joining me now. And Jess, we've been part of kind of an unpopular streak.
Oh, absolutely. We've had 24 consecutive wet weekends all the way back to last December. But is 24 wet weekends in a row a record? For that, let's go to meteorologist Peter Kavikauskas to dig into the data.
Well, no doubt a lot of you have probably seen this graphic a few times here over the last several weeks because we've definitely had our fair share of wet and crummy weekends around here. How about this? The last weekend that we had no measurable precip, March 22nd and March 23rd. But even that weekend, we did amount up to a trace of snow flurries out there. The last completely dry weekend, all the way back to December 14th and 15th, that nearly 25 weeks ago. A lot of people have asked, is that 24 or nearly 25 week of record weekend stretch a record? Well, I'm here to tell you, no, not actually quite a record. I combed through data dating back all the way to 1888, nearly several thousand data points. And take a look at this. September 1st, 1934, extending to March 23rd, 1935. 30 weekends in a row where we had at least a trace of precipitation. But I did also want to show you the amount of liquid precip that we amounted over all those weekends. That 30 weekend stretch in 1934 to 1935, only 5.41 inches of liquid precip. But take a look at what we've seen in this 24 weekend stretch, nearly 8 3/4 of an inch of precip. The big question now is, does the stretch continue into this weekend?
And Peter, that is the big question indeed. We do have some wet weather on the way for this weekend, certainly for southern areas, but northern areas actually not looking too bad. And the question tomorrow going to be, do we get a trace of precipitation at the Burlington Airport to keep the streak going, or do we stay dry? We do have the chance for some showers that generate some very light rainfall amounts, but they look kind of hit or miss. A little bit better chances east of the Green Mountains to see a trace to up to a quarter of an inch within those. But then notice the steadier band to the south. That's close to where that front is that's been kicking off that activity this afternoon, and that unfortunately is where we have better bet for rain tomorrow. In fact, rain likely through at least early afternoon there, and some of those higher amounts that could locally amount to between half an inch to an inch. So we're still watching those southern areas under that sort of level 1 risk for some flash flooding. The most intense rainfall certainly looking like already happened today, but the ground is quite wet in some spots from those downpours, so we'll have to monitor conditions into tomorrow, especially in those areas, so keep an eye out tomorrow for that. So we'll be starting with clouds north, rain south tomorrow, temperatures in the mid-50s to low 60s, and by afternoon we'll actually see some sunshine coming out in northern areas, allowing those temperatures to get into the mid to upper 70s, staying cooler though to the south where it takes longer to clear out. Also some haze around into tomorrow afternoon. Now Sunday, that's the best day of the weekend. Still some haze around, but look at those temperatures. Seasonable in the mid-70s, dry through the day, lots of sunshine to start, a few more clouds late in the day, and not a bad start to the week either.
Jess, thank you.